Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It is Monday, the best day of the week. It is September 27th, 2010. And this is Day 9 Daily 188, I think. Who cares? It's Funday Monday, where we do goofy shit. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. People will probably ask me when I'm like 40 years old, what was your greatest memory of Starcraft and Starcraft 2? And what I will answer is screwing up the metagame, because everyone for the last week has been carrier rushing his Protoss. That was the restriction that we imposed today. For any of you who are unfamiliar with Funday Monday, what we do is I create a little goal for you to do, and you must play within the restrictions of that goal. For instance, you cannot make a single queen as Zerg. That was the first Funday Monday. For this week, you are not allowed to make a Nexus until you've started making a carrier. So basically, you're one base carrying as you're opening. And I thought that was going to be quite a bit of fun. I thought we were going to see some goofy, crazy, good stuff there. And of course, we did. And it was awesome. As usual, the email for that is Monday@day9.tv. And tomorrow, we're doing Newbie Tuesdays. And I would love it if you people who are, of course, so humble as to call yourselves newbies would send me a replay of you losing to some early pressure, whether it be a cheese or just an early attack, or whether an early attack crippled you and you lost a little bit later on. Send me games of those. Of course, many people had the notable tact to not include a replay at all. That was the best ever, because you could actually scroll down the list and see where the attachments were, because that's how email works, like I'm trying to explain to all these people who are watching me over the internet. But yeah, like half of them didn't have emails. I got 2,500 submissions for today, and a lot didn't have attachments. So that was good. So Obviously, we had to do some good sorting through to get some games. And let me tell you something. Some of those early ones, some of the early games that I watched looked a lot like this game that we are about to see. Loading it up, we have Samale, who I'm going to call Salami for most of the games, because that's the first thing I saw. And you know how, like, on the SAT, when they tell you, if you bubble in C, don't second guess yourself and bubble in A. I saw Salami. I'm not gonna change it. I'm sure it'll be right when it goes through in the final Scantron. And here is Emmy, which of course makes me think of the character from Lost, Yemi. Yemi, I am a priest. There's Emmy, who is at the top. Looks like he's doing that very fancy plus 7%. Oh, it looks like he might be playing optimally. For any of you who didn't know this, you're seeing all these little queues set up among all these workers as they're sort of going back and forth. There's a way that you can cause your workers to have no wait time when they return the minerals, and it increases it by a whopping 7%. And as you know, us top players, we just sit around all day thinking, if only I had another 7% mineral. So good thing someone found that out. Salami. I'm looking right at the name and I cannot say it. I don't even care. But it looks like Mul Olivan Askin Minkova APM at Lopuremi Keskin. And then he says, Pizza Niet Vahan Rojada, something like that. Salami's making a gateway, great, speeding things up right along. Emi is making a barracks, and there's the gas coming down. Now this game was awesome. I'm almost tempted to go to the Yemi cam, because in this view, we get to see what it feels like to be carrier rushed. Once again, we are doing the carrier rush Day 9 Daily. Now, I was so pleased, I was so proud of you glorious, beautiful viewers, of the way people went carriers. This sort of thing, getting a second gas ridiculously quickly because you're really low on gas when you're carrier rushing. Yeah, Day 9 viewers, bam, getting it done. Thug snapping. And one thing that I actually did learn was probably the most frequent pattern that we saw was people would get a Void Ray before they got the carriers, and I learned that Void Rays are really good. In fact, most of the games where people are like, here's my carrier rush game, and they'd make a Void Ray that would kill off every SCV depot and Marine Terran had. The command center would lift and have to back off, and then it would die. And then the carrier would come in, and they'd say, this was a nice Void Ray into carrier transition. That was a good Void Ray, just killing the shit out of them without any more effort required. But hey, no big deal. I love that, right? I love that. Now, one of my favorite things, okay, so we're going to see Emmy do something pretty normal. I don't care. You're not a viewer of the Day 9 Daily. I'm coming back to Salami, who's carrier rushing. Yeah, baby, look at that. Immediately getting a Stalker. Oh, I'm so disappointed you did not build the Stargate and sack any units at all. But one of my favorite things when watching these funky restrictions that I impose upon you kind viewers is to see how people end up transitioning. Because a carrier is a really late game tech unit, right? It's very, very, very late. It's hard to get. So how do you do that without screwing yourself at some point earlier on? So it looks like people did a whole lot of like void ray rushes and then would get the carriers. I was really into that. Now, if we come back here to the enemy's base, of course, EME is short for the enemy. We see that he's getting supply blocked. Yes! Day 9 viewers versus the world, 1-0 already. And it looks like Stargate coming out. Alright, he unsupply blockhead himself. He's making some Marines. He's setting up to build those Imba units, the Marauders. But, salami, a delicious, wholesome meat product, is just going to go ahead and go straight for the carriers. No BS, no yanking of the chain. He is just doing straight up pain bringing, getting that carrier up ASAP. And look at this. I love this. Look at, he's saving the chrono boost. Or he has horrible macro. He's saving the chrono boost. We give him the benefit of the doubt, right? He's saving that chrono boost because Volcaria takes a long time to build. Want to save up for that. There's the carrier going down. Look at the chrono boost. Doesn't even know where to rally it. He's so excited. He's just pumped. And I'm pumped too. Oh, you know it. This is the first ever carrier rush witnessed on the Day 9 Dailies Funday Monday. Oh, Emmy, the enemy expanding. Ugh. What cruel heresy we're seeing. And he's making a Raven. Now, I just want to say, for any of you who are having trouble against Terran as Protoss, this stuff drives me insane. When they get their cutesy little force that has like 5 Marines and 3 Marauders and a Medevac and a Raven, and you can't kill it. Period. It doesn't die. I hate it. I will punch my desk and cause an earthquake of rage because it drives me insane, right? When I'm trying to be all fancy, I'm like early expanding. I've only made Stalkers and Zealots. And then he comes up, throws 1-point defense drone. The Medevac heals at 1,000 HP a second. And then you lose. So, when I'm seeing this, I'm getting a little bit of like, oh, I bet this Terran's just like, oh, now I'm nearly invulnerable. 1 Medevac and my pure force of unbeatableness will be complete. And meanwhile, we see a carrier. Oh, look, did it avoid the scan? I think so. Look at this sweet carrier producing. And a second carrier. Attaboy. Attaboy. Not even expanding. No, just warping in more Zealots. I saw a lot of Zealot carrier usage as they are quite expensive. He's getting the Graviton Catapult, which says it makes the carriers launch more quickly, but really it's just sweet. That's the sort of thing that you would hear on like Star Wars or Star Trek, where they use the technobabble, you know, like set the receptacle vibrators to 28% and launch the Graviton Catapult, and everyone and all the nerds are like, yeah, there's like statistics coming up on the screen, and you can build that in Starcraft too. It just costs you a little bit of money to be that cool. So here comes this nice little force, and look at this. Everything that is doing is really usual stuff. He's even getting Ghost. There's the Medevac out. Here's the Unstoppo Force. Has he gotten Stim? Yes, he's gotten even the concussive whatever, that Marauder broken thing, concussive shell, yeah. And this looks pretty damn... Oh, wait a minute. Carriers. Uh-oh. Go. Fight the good fight, Salami. Take him down. No cuteness, no harass at the back, just 1A at the front. Marauders, Marines, have fun stimming. Good luck. You don't have any medevacs anymore. Will he prevail? Go, Salami! Salami. Attacking while expanding. Always good RTS gameplay. But either way, he's making carriers. Fuck yeah, Salami. I'm getting you next time I go to Subway. And he is just continuing to finish off all these SCVs in absolute total valiance. But I will say, when I was watching this, I was kind of like, oh my god, that's actually pretty good. That he just attacked and won. I mean, it's not like anyone in the no queens game just, like attacked without any queens at all really easily. And it's like, yeah, it's actually pretty easy. What's on the menu for next week? I mean, so this is pretty cool, speeding this up, because we do have a total of 5 games we want to see today. Yeah, Nani. Miss Pilos, bases, Nurkas. Yeah, he's just telling, bases, Nurkas, ain't nothing to a boss. I don't really know what Nurkas means, but it definitely makes me wish that you could create more than one account, because I would definitely create the ID Nurkas. And so he's continuing to say other things like, this is probably an unbeatable strategy. Salami agrees with the happiest of happy faces. And just charging in, target firing, the key structure. Now, when you are at 101 food to 4, I would generally say you're at an advantage, and Kiki leaves the game happy, because he just suffered defeat from one of the awesomest things ever. The one-base carrier. Ooh. So, of course, I'm getting kind of excited, right? Because people are carrier rushing, looking good, but suddenly Suddenly the carrier rush has defeated something, I dare say, a typical strategy. So of course we shall delve into more. We shall see, is this indeed a pattern as we go into the Them's the Money Game folder? Yes, we go right here into Game 2. And while this game's loading, I'd like to state for the record, glasses are fixed. Oh, baby. Ouch, my eyelashes. That was awesome. Fixing my glasses, and also one of the viewers sent me this awesome shirt that says M&M. Now that's the stuff. Marine Marauder Medevac. Bam. Enjoy the nerd attire. So, going right into the next game, we have apparently Homestar Runner plays Starcraft because I play Zog. We have Zog here on the left as the red Zerg against a Day 9 Daily viewer named Wielder, which is almost a really badass name. You know, I'm always interested in, like, the one-word IDs, you know. Wielder, I don't know. It's like naming yourself Gripper or Holding. It's like almost. But either way, Wielder, you're the man. He is doing a little carrier rush, so he seems he has sent out a scoot probe. He has seen Zog here. Now, I'm just going to go ahead and ignore Wielder and just see things from Zog's perspective. And now he's making the spawning pool. He's just keeping an overlord here in case he ever wants to vomit creep on any naughty little drones. Or perhaps the drones operate a lot like the mother eagle, where they feed when the mother just like spits up food into the baby's mouth. Except in this case, it's just overlord poo. And it looks like Zerg's early expanding. Oh, you know what? I love using, probably my favorite word in the world, a word that should definitely be on the Day 9 drinking game, is the word normal. The most normal things you'll ever see. Zerg, who went gas, pool, and then expand. He's getting the Zergling speed ultra fast, and he'll be getting a queen as soon as he has the funds to. Or as soon as he has the funds, and then he will spend them. Make a queen, dude. Come on, Zog. There's the queen. Yes, getting thrown down. And meanwhile, no BS Wielder, oh yeah, going straight for them carriers. Attaboy, Wielder. Way to wield the strategies from Funday Monday. Now, he's making a few Zerglings, not many, going to the production tab. Look at these drones, look at this nice fancy interface. Thanks a bunch, Blizzard. You guys are the man. Looks like they are just still making drones good. I was getting a Roach Warren. This is very ordinary. This is the usual sort of stuff you see. I would love it if he... No, you know, it looks like he's skipping the drone vomitage. The larva vomitage, just making sure he gets the creep up really fast. Don't mind that too much, as we are going at warp speed through to the awesomeness. Wielder, don't fuck around. There's a fleet beacon. Attaboy, Wielder. Attaboy. 2-gate, 1-gate carrier. That's what I'm talking about. Coming back to Zog's base. And look at this. Yeah, he's making some spine crawlers. Because, yeah, look at this production tab. Only drones. Only drones. How often do you see Zergs do this, where they expand and they only make drones, and they only do drones? Sure, they'll get themselves a Roach Warren, and they'll get themselves a lair, and they might even get some Zergling speed just so they can be annoying. But here comes one carrier, and bam! There's a carrier coming out right now. Third warp gate going down. He is chrono boosting yet another carrier, and at this point in time, the only anti-air is two queens. Dos Queenos. And, looks like he's clustering some roaches. I don't think so. Come on, mighty Wielder. Regroup forces at the Zelnaga Watchtower. Let's see how this attack works. It's ground versus a pure anti-ground army and a carrier. Go Wielder, how will it turn out? Zog is making so many Zerglings to prepare for the massive invasion of carriers at his front gate. And here it goes, shooting at something that cannot shoot up the queen. Oh my god! Shooting at any interceptor which goes in sight. I don't know if you know this, but I don't think you can actually select interceptors. Like, if someone knows how to select interceptor, I would love to know, because I want to see the stats on them. I really would love to see the stats on an interceptor. It has some right here, but I want to box it. But either way, oh, the ground force of Wielder getting roach head. Oh, the brutality, and we have an emergency Hydralisk den being produced as the one carrier of Wielder is trying to do its best. It's killed off one queen. You can see her splattered ooze stains there on the bottom. Queen's retreating. Oh my god, the counterattack. There's a sentry. Will it throw down the force field in time? Wielder! Oh! It kind of threw down a force field. It's going to be good enough because roaches have range like 1.0001. They're barely not melee. Does mean that these end up working out quite well. And then we have two carriers. Now, this carrier is already a mentor. He has 6 kills. It looks like the Overlords are going down. Now we're going to see a plenty bit of Hydralisks pop out of these eggs right here. And this was probably the awesomest thing I think I've ever seen as we speed it up, killing off drones, not even like focusing. Look, just, yeah, whatever you want to kill, that's good. And a bunch of Hydralisks pop out to do target firing. And here go the Hydralisks down so quickly. Oh, they managed to take out one carrier, but of course, Executor carrier, 22 kills. No problem at all. Not a big deal. Not worrying about it. It's not a concern for Wielder, because this is something I didn't know. Now, I played Starcraft 1, and our carriers did 5 damage per interceptor. 5 damage per interceptor. And I took for granted their little interface UI thing. Look at this. It says 5 damage, but it does 2 attacks. It does 10 damage a shot. That means every time you do a +1 attack upgrade, that is plus 16 damage on the carrier as a whole. Plus 16 damage. That's an awful lot of freaking damage. Because it's +1 per interceptor, and each interceptor has 2 attacks. That's actually +2 per interceptor. And 8 times 2 is 16. Oh, that's so much damage. That's ridiculous. And apparently, it just really, really kills things. And of course, Zog. Ha! Funday Monday. Yerp. Oh, GG. Oh, GG. GG. Yes. Day 9 viewers. Whoa-bam! Now, this is the thing that kind of concerned me at this point, is that these were 2 of the very early games I was looking at today. And, people were just winning. That's all they did. It's like, all right, I did the 1-base carrier and I killed him. Cool. Just tell me what to do next week. It doesn't even feel like I really put a good restriction on people, because that's almost like I just said, okay, Terrans, for Monday Fun Day, you can only make Marauders. The Terran people are like, that sure sounds fun. And the Zergs and Protosses are like, that doesn't sound very fun. I don't like Funday Monday. Yeah, and it seems like this carrier build is a lot more legit than I had originally assumed, because, sure, you'll do something fancy like, I will make a Void Ray, and he'll freak out and make a bunch of Marines, and then I can respond by making Zealots. And kind of the logic there is, yeah, the Void Ray is not so great if he gets overwhelmed. I mean, it can kill buildings really fast, and if it gets charged up and you're not expecting, it can kill everything you own. But for the most part, a Void Ray is kind of blockable, is deal-withable. But, or even with Mutalisks, like you make the Mutalisk, yeah, Terran makes a Thor, and, goodbye Mutalisks. But at the very least, you know that your opponent had to make a Thor and probably some Marines too. And you can deal with that information. But with a carrier, and all these games I see, it's like, oh no, here comes a carrier. And I saw this guy go 2 factory Thor, and it got crushed. It wasn't even close. And I was just like, carriers. I was so happy about it. And that's one thing that's really brutal about this, is that even if you get the Hydralisks out, a completely unmicroed carrier just kind of lackadaisically just kind of throw some interceptors over here and some interceptors over there, and see you later, Hydras. Yeah, awesome. All right, let's go do more. All right, loading up the Funday Monday. Look how organized I am. Carrier, them's the money reps. So we're going to go ahead and watch... Oh, yes, let's watch the Close Game Award coming up right now. Oh, yeah. We get Ruby, whose, of course, strategy is going to be quite green. God, I hope someone caught that reference. Ruby is green, baby. Against Sweeks, which is a very fun name to say, Sweeks. Sweeks in this game is the enemy. And here we have Ruby, who is our glorious hero, heading out into battle, making a gateway, brilliantly chrono boosting. Yes, indeed. A lot of people did sort of cutesy Void Ray stuff. A lot of people did cutesy Phoenix stuff. There's a really great game I saw where a player literally went mass Phoenix. He opened Phoenix, and he kept going Phoenix, and of course, the Day 9 viewer just kept making carriers, and 4 carriers killed every single one of those Phoenixes without anything happening. And I laughed and laughed. Maybe we'll check that one out if we so have time. Carrier Russian going down. And see, this is what I call the no BS carriers. Look at this. No Zealot. No Warp Gate, no nothing. 1 Stargate, ASAP. Or I guess I should say AFAP. As fast as possible. And of course, it's quite fun to say AFAP. Totally awesome. Let's see how Ruby ends up doing it. He has made the pylon. Oh, yes. And he is finishing the Stargate. And again, to stop the goofiness, we could say, make a Void Ray right now. We could do harassment to the enemy Sweeks, our Protoss opponent. We could do all that sorts of good stuff, but a lot of players in the cool games, the ones I'm showing you right now, did no transitioning, just the straight carriers, just I am going to kill him as fast as possible. Now Sweeks is doing something pretty normal. He's seen that there's some spread out pylons, but he is not really suspecting that there's going to be a giant friggin' damn carrier busting down his back door. Here comes Dukeria, and he has saved up leaving a little bit of chrono boost. And some zealots coming out the front. Has Warp Gate been started? No. Who needs Warp Gate, right? It's only like the cheapest upgrade in the game and like the most important one as well. But of course, you gotta save gas, man. Carriers are expensive on gas. You can't just skimp on that. Now, I wouldn't mind an expand right now. We do like our money. We have a carrier. We'll probably lose, but at the very least, we'll have a lot of money. That's fine. Sweek's doing the good old... Oh, what's this? A Warp Prism. Oh, and a Twilight Council. Uh-oh. Now, most Protosses at this point are just attacking with 4 Warp Gates. And those Protosses we call 1800 Diamond players. But looks like Sweeks is not doing the 4 Warp Gate. He's just going to go ahead and do a little bit of crazy stuff. And Ruby! 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 He has to run away. Ruby! Ruby! Oh, getting those carriers taken down. He only has 7 interceptors remaining, which means he lost 1 interceptor. And it does mean that Sweeks kind of knows what's up. He's making a forge, he's making a pylon, he's making a dark shrine. He's making literally every single tech unit that he can, except Kerial. We do like carriers. Is there a mothership coming out? Sadly, no. Many people went mothership in this replay pack, and it was truly kick-ass to see. But still, carriers. They're just such a good unit. They're so strong. I love carriers. Love carriers. And Ruby's expanding. Oh, yes. Valiantly approaching the mid-game. And another carrier coming out, and Sweeks literally sees everything. He can even see, apparently, a Chrono Boost. I assume that that's a glitch, or is that a bug in the game? Can he, like, still see it? Yeah, I guess you can just see Chrono Boosts in the Fog of War. Maybe that would be a good way to time your scouting. I would love that, just to, like, look on the mini-map, be like, is he here? Oh, look, there's the swirl. Got him. So there's the Nexus going down. There's the +1 upgrade. Dark Templar. Oh no. Oh no. Ruby. Ruby getting his 3rd carrier out. Where's his detection? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, who loves a base trade? I certainly do, which is why this is my show. Here comes Sweeks. Dropping and attacking. And attacking. And... yes, there he goes. Yes, and uh-oh, looks like there's a little bit of a battle going on, but Stalkers are shooting down all the interceptors. An unbelievably good way to deal with carriers. That's where all the close games really came, where you would see someone just constantly trying to shoot down the interceptors. And oh no, oh no, oh Ruby, Ruby, oh god, moving in with all Zelf, moving in with everything. And this is the truly killer attack. This is so weird. I have no idea why people don't do this more often after seeing this sort of stuff, where you just go basic ground force carrier. It is so good. Everything shoots at the wrong thing, and at this point, if you're shooting at interceptors, those zealots that are way underneath here are not really going to be too happy. Or excuse me, they are going to be really happy. Sorry, inadvertently said the exact opposite of what I meant to say. Look at that, cleaning up. But of course, Ruby has a little bit of a crisis. Oh, he doesn't have a base anymore. Oh, he's run out of base. Uh-oh, uh-oh. He has just started a forge. Now, I will say, if you see Dark Templar, a good response is to make a forge immediately, as opposed to making a forge when you no longer have a main. But that's okay, that's okay. That's not the point of this daily. The point of this daily is to see how awesome carriers are. Oh no, 2 Dark Templar by Sweeks. Sweeks, oh, he has 1 Expo up. Looks like these guys are going to kill a probe. Now, at this point, I would like to state for the record, Ruby needs to get the forge up. He needs to get the forge up. Oh my gosh, he's doing a good job. He's scouting, he's poking around. Uh-oh, there goes the Stargate. The probe's falling. Now, Sweeks has not yet noticed that it did not say players being revealed. In the heat of the moment, he has apparently mistook the game situation. There's the Nexus falling. There, the Dark Templar returning back home to kill off the final Zealots and the carriers. As usual, don't quite have as many kills as 1 Banshee, but still they're doing well with 17, 12, and 6. So it looks like down here has made 1 cannon. Uh-oh, 3 Dark Templar, or should I say 5 Dark Templar. Here are the other 2 DTs. Oh my goodness. He's re-expanding here. But God, Ruby's being so proactive about scouting with that Void Ray. There's the Void Ray going. Sweeks, Ruby. Oh my God. And he's scouting, Oh my God. Doom, doom. Doom, doom. Alright, I gotta slow this down, because when I saw this, I was like screaming, I was like, Ruby! Ruby! I had Fifth Element turned on, so I could hear Corbin Dallas screaming Ruby and everything, and they went the wrong way. Here goes down. Oh, I'm just gonna have the health of the DTs and the cannon selected. Oh my god, Dark Templar. Oh, and it's getting to 3 life. Oh, Ruby! Oh my god, Ruby. Yeah, let me tell you something. One base carry effective. Gosu times 2. Look at how well it's working. Yeah, I mean, neither of them have a base, but Sweeks has less of a not a base. He has far less of a not base than his opponent does. But of course, remember the fact that there are 2 more Dark Templar on the map. 2 more Dark Templar. The tension is killing me. Fast forwarding, getting the spoilers. Oh my god. Who will be voted off the island? It appears the Warp Prism will. There it goes, and he's gonna try to kill off the Photon. It falls. But another Photon Cannon is still alive. Uh-oh, Ruby. Ruby holding on. He's making probes. Sweeks has left the... Sweeks has left the game, couldn't handle that stutter, came right back, fixed it second time around. Now, of course, as we learned in the previous Funday Monday, a good technique to winning with a Funday Monday strategy is to lose your whole fucking base. Apparently that seems to be the reasonable technique that is not stable. And this is the sort of thing that, interestingly, this mimics when people are doing good strategies as opposed to goofy carrier rushes. Anytime you're doing some sort of Phoenix heavy or Void Ray heavy strategy, because you skip the robotics facility tech, the Forge and Cannon is generally quite a good choice. Not just because it's the fastest way to get detection, but also because the way your resource allocation works. You're spending almost all your gas dumping into your air units. You don't really have the gas to get the Observer and the Robo, so you should get some cannons. Works out quite well. As we saw in this game, really should get those cannons up kind of fast because you will lose your whole fucking base. So, point taken, but still kind of cool to note. And this is really kind of blowing my mind, all these games that I've ended up watching. We're going to actually see an epic game as our final match. But interestingly, a carrier seems to be pretty damn brutal to have to deal with. It's just so good. And like, I've watched a lot of games where it's people are going like Mass Corruptor and Mass Viking, and it's just not nearly as effective as the spreadsheet of counters would imply. So definitely something to note. Put that in your back pocket and then pull it out as a switchblade during games. So let's go ahead and move on to the next match. And one of my favorite things is when people do this good mix of units, which really, in all honesty, doing like Zealot Carrier works kind of well because carriers burn through all your gas. You have money left over, make some Zealots. And that as an army composition works pretty damn well. However, the way that you do that is important. I saw this one player who went 3-gate, no gas, Zealot Rush into Carrier. That was his build. It's like, well, I open up with a Zealot Rush, and then I transition into motherfucking Carriers. Like that. That's not the best. It's like the Horatio Alger story, right? The rags to riches, the Zealots to Carriers of Protoss. So that's probably what I'm going to be calling Carrier Rushing, is doing the Horatio Alger build. It's catchy to say the least. And to be honest, I was actually reading about Horatio Alger today, or Alger, however you say it. And I'm not kidding. I'm not making any of this up. The title of his children's book was called Ragged Dick. Go look it up on Wikipedia right now. Ragged Dick. It's not something that you could like say is subtlety. You know, it's not like if I titled a book a lot like Mindy's Inviting Curtains. You know, like that's, well, I guess you could, maybe it's a decorating magazine, but you know, like Ragged Dick. And it's a book series. It's like the Ragged Dick series of children, and it has that sort of very old-looking Penguin Classics cover to it of a man who's just sort of holding an umbrella with his top hat, and there's industry in the background. You should check it out, because we're seeing Horatio Alger's story come back many times today. So the next game we're going to look at is Proxy-Based Failed Carrier Rush Counter, which is, this is a quite low-level game between Misuk, who I'm going to call it Mizuk, the Terran player, and misspelled Nexus. Well, I guess it's something more like, nah, hey, Jimmy Bob, what you doing? Oh, I'm just building a Nexus. So we got a player Nexus up here. He's going to be building a pylon behind his base. Now, this is something that, it's like, if I explained this, a lot of people would go, oh, yeah, totally. But when you see it, it, like, really clicks. This looks really awful. By the way, I'm going to ignore this from me suck. I'll just rewind and do the build-up. This looks terrible, like, but when you see something like this, people just kind of go, oh, the gateway, it's behind his mineral patch. What's it doing there? Why is it not up here by the ramp? But honestly, if you ever had Hellion drops here come in and kill all your workers, you can build a core here, pylons, gateways, and then build, like, a wall here, so that the only entrance to this whole region of your base is like right here, and it makes managing the drop so easy, and I kind of stopped doing it, and when I saw Nexus doing it, I was kind of like, okay, I should start doing that, and that'll be very effective. Cool. We are engaging in the act of learning. Excellent. But at the same time, cheese from Misuk. So there's Misak. Oh my god, he has almost no workers. How are you going to hold it off, Nexus? How are you going to hold it off? The tension is rising. He is almost done with the barracks. Oh my god, here comes a Marine. Here it comes. There's a Marine. It's going to be coming any second now. I guess he made an orbital command in another barracks first, but he's going to be making a Marine any second now. There's 2 Marines getting made, yes. Oh goodness, no zealots out whatsoever. The bunker could be going down at any second. It could be going down at any second. There could be a bunker coming here at any point in time. No one really knows. Oh, no one at all, especially not Misak or Nexus. No one knows. No one has a clue when this bunker is going to go down. No one. Not even friggin' like psychics, God, all-powerful sentient beings. No one. Come on, man. Well, whatever. We'll just ignore that. We're not even going to worry about it. But it looks like Nexus, assuming that his opponent is doing something normal, looks like he is also doing something quite usual himself to Warp Gate, getting his robotics facility. Money's a little high. Who cares? We don't care about spending our money. It's Funday Monday, man. We care about being awesome, which, of course, Nexus is. And it looks like Misak just deciding that this is a good place for a base. It has air conditioning, as we can see there. It's nice, cool. The Marines just sort of hanging out, having a beer. Can't wait till the factory's done. That'll create hundreds of new jobs for this sector. Misak just really going to leave a pretty big surprise. Now, he's scanning. I mean, he could just take, like, a Marine and just, like, walk in, but he doesn't want to reveal his little secret base inside Nexus's base. And, you know, doesn't that sound just like very terrible television writing? Just like, so what's going to happen is that 20 minutes later, he's going to find out there's a base inside of his own base. And the producers are just like, look, we don't want a 7th season of Lost, all right? Just cut it out. This is not good strategy either, okay? Just trying to, and then all of a sudden when the battlecruiser comes in from behind and there are turrets to defend, he will be red-cheeked. And then he'll win the game because I'm too busy trying to hide a base inside his base. And there's the other factory going down. Misak looking terrible. Nexus is apparently just too shocked. He just saw the Marines and was like, oh god, I'm just going to return right back home. Looks like he is taking the island, and he is now barely able to qualify for Funday Monday, so long as he builds those carriers before anything else happens. And it looks like, oh, sneaky Misak now building the gold expansion in the bottom left, and he can transfer half of his SCVs, more commonly known as 4 of those SCVs, down to this expansion. Oh, he has Muled. That'll return a whopping 42, I think, minerals it is. I don't know. It's a lot. Mule on gold, baby. He's making tanks. He could be building a bunker at any second. At any second, he could be building a bunker. And, I mean, Nexus, you know, even though this is clearly not, like, tip-top level play or anything like that, I mean, the overall sense of what Nexus is doing, having the things here to protect against any sort of drop, he could be doing a little bit more scouting, because all he sees right now is Marines and hasn't even checked this half of the base. I mean, there's not really anything here except nuclear bombs! And you know what's a good place to start building a ghost? Up here. Yep, there's the ghost coming down. Now, just for the record, we're seeing him go nuke, then cloak. Strategically, I prefer cloak, then nuke, because, for instance, if I couldn't get the nuke off, I can just cloak and hide. as opposed to, you know, if you wander up and you can't cloak, just nuke him. It sounds good, but strategically not sound. Strategically not so sound. So there is the next step coming up. Uh-oh. It's 7:41 my time. We have to speed up for the epic game. The epic of utmost epicness. Coming right up, he has expanded. Yes, he has Getty-Aw building. He now has an expansion and... Hey, is there a base in my base? Toy Story 3, you pull Woody's cord and he goes, there's a base in my boot. Just killing it all off. Yeah, no problem. This really is a disappointing hidden base. The hidden base that once found dies immediately. What's the counter to a hidden base in your base? Well, the best counter is to attack at any point. So it looks like me suck hiding. He could expand here if we want to. He could set up another base. But it does look like Nexus doesn't really have anything much to mine. But that's okay because he has carriers. Yeah, and here come the carriers, just waltzing right in. Taking them down. Uh-oh, a counterattack. Oh, hey! The bunker could have gone down at any point, and it goes down a little bit late. This proxy cheese bunker rush seemingly happening after the carriers are wrecking his main, but it happens, and there's the GG. Day 9's viewers versus the world. 4-0. Great, ladies and gentlemen. I present to you the 5th and final game of this Funday Monday. Oh, yes, that's right. I should load it instead of making that really exciting looking series of noises and then just stupidly navigating through a series of folders. Getty-Aw. Them's the money games. Immortal Carriers 11. Now, that does sound like a great, trashy TV series of movies, but it is the player Immortal, going carriers for the 11th time, allegedly. He sent me like 15 replays. Immortal, this is for you. Okay, even though I took Immortal's game, don't you dare friggin' send me 50 replays with a description of all of them, because I don't have time to read them. The way that I found this replay is that in trying to sort through 2,500 games, I had to try to find some juicy ones, so I used keyword searches, such as close, fail, both, because I wanted games with both people going carriers, a lot of which happened, none of which were particularly interesting, but we'll see that in a little bit. And this one was labeled as a close game, but if you just send me one close game, just say, here's a close game. Don't send me that many. Very bad, Immortal. The game was sweet, so we're doing it anyways. Thank you, Immortal. Here we have Immortal, which is a very cool name. I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt. He may have not known it was a unit in the game upon creation, because I get really tired of, like, watching the Brood War professional scene where you have players like the Zerg was his name, or Sparky's Zerg, which, by the way, are two different players. The Zerg is not the same player as Sparky's Zerg. So Immortal's pretty cool. You know, it's better than, like, the Marine. And Maelstrom, yeah, I know it's an ability in the game. Not creative players. Need to get better names. Really serious. They need to have, like, really cool names, like Ragged Dick. The children's story of Rags to Riches by Horatio Alger. The story of zealots to carriers. Immortal doing the good placement. Very, very suave, very sophisticado. And for any of you who didn't know, sophisticado is a mix between someone who is sophisticated and an avocado. They're fat, but it's a good kind of fat. So there's the Maelstrom planting down his hatch. Usual good junk. Yeah, getting speed, getting queens. Getting carrier rushed. Oh, and then the block at the front. Looking good. We have another pylon going down, and then we have... Oh, Getty-Aw. Kim Carrier would love this daily. Uh-oh, there's the miss rally. That's one thing that does drive me insane. You have to, like, rally, like, here, so that way the units go the right way. But, no big deal. We make sacrifices as competitive nerds. The very fast double gas, getting the Stargate done. Zerg is doing some usual stuff. I'm not the biggest fan of planting down 3 spine crawlers. If you are super panicked about being able to keep your expansion alive, sure, throw down spine crawlers, walk them down there. Slush is very good about doing that against Protosses. Very awesome. But that's against, like, 2-gate zealot rushes. Against, like, a fast warp gate, notice the warp gates aren't even close to being done. So there's really no need to have sent these guys that early. But, you know, either way, he's going for what seems like a pretty reasonable opening, and will soon be the opening that many Protosses are hating. But coming back to Protosses, we are loving, 245, 250. Yeah, look at him hitting that C button. What's his APM? Ooh, over 100. One of those was used to make a carrier. You only need 119 APM to really do this carrier rush build. Very, very excellent. Looks like he's getting a rowboat. Now, this is something that honestly surprised me a little bit. This is the sort of reveal that occasionally happens when you're watching pretty crisp-looking play from a player doing something seemingly ridiculous. Carrier rushes, seemingly ridiculous. But we can get warp gates, we can get a few extra gas units. This is 100 gas between these stalkers, and we can afford to get a rowboat and an observer. I would honestly not have thought we would have that much gas getting carriers as quickly as Immortal is. And look, just barely having enough gas for the next carrier. That was very cool to me, and not even forgetting pylons. So awesome. Look at that. Right when that pylon finishes, carrier has arrived. I'm not going to try to do that voice. I don't really have a good carrier voice. I have like a good Dragon Ball Z voice, which I can do in a little bit here, but look at Immortal going straight into the base of Maelstrom. Now, one thing to note, Maelstrom's doing this strategy that drives players insane, which is Spine Crawlers at the front, Mutalisks at the back. They just do these Mutalisk counterattacks, and here comes a carrier marching right in. Now, watch as this unmicroed carrier just gets wailed upon. Like, doesn't even really have all the interceptors out. There, the interceptors going out now. Now, to be honest, a lot of Zerg players are making plenty O Queens early on, so they don't have to deal with the sort of carrier obnoxiousness. But, quite honestly, this is not even close. This carrier's taking out these queens. Carriers have a range of 8. Queens do have a range of 7, but of course carriers can move while the interceptors shoot things themselves. So it's super, super easy to control properly. Yeah, there's the Corruptor coming out, but look at this, an expansion going down. Warp Gates making units, the Rags to Riches story. Horatio Alger play, Carrier Zealot. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Junk, and even getting the Observer out, which is probably somewhere on this map. I'm going to go ahead and hit my little V button. Not seeing it. Where is it? Does he still have it alive? There's an Observer. Nope, there ain't no Observer. It's dead. So there's a dead Observer, the very tragic tale of the no longer living Observer. And here come a bunch of Corruptors. Now to note, a Mutalisk is 100-100, a Corruptor is 150-100. It's hard to expand and go Corruptor, which is very big because that's sort of the essential key to this big Mutalisking strategy, is to expand a lot. And it looks like the Corruptors are doing really, really well. I mean, they almost kill off the carrier, embarrassingly don't quite manage to take it out. The carriers were not really shooting at the Corruptors the whole time, so, you know, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. But here comes Mortal. It looks like he's making more carriers, and that got me excited because some people, you know what? Some people cheated. Some people, when they submit to Funday Monday, listen to the restrictions, and these are... I'm going to just repeat the restrictions. You are not allowed to expand until you have made a carrier, until you've started making a carrier. That's a cute way of saying carrier rush. Cool. But some people were like, here's a replay of me going carrier rush, and they would just 4 warp gate and kill them, and then at the end say, I didn't expand before I made a carrier. I'm not showing that on the daily. I was angry. I sent it to the trash, and I deleted it. And, of course, more people were like, alright, I'll make a carrier, but then I'm going to go back to making Void Rays, and then I'm going to go back to making Phoenixes. They just made this carrier, and they're like, fine, I'll do it. Whatever it takes to be on TV. Screw you guys. I want to see some carriers. Yeah! And this is why, Immortal, you're the man. But send me less replays next time. You sent me 12. Coming right back into it. Coming right back into it. Immortal. Immortal. Looks like Immortal is making himself. He is quite good against armored units. And this is a very kind of funky mix, like some gateway units, but nothing really gas heavy, not a lot of sentries in there. We do see Maelstrom is taking the gold, has spread out with these Spine Crawlers. Cool, 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 that's really, really cool. We're seeing Mutars come out, Mutarisku, as they are said in South Korea. More carriers coming out, is he getting them ups? Is he getting them ups out? Ooh, I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. I love those upgrades. Yeah, Immortal, you are playing well. You are spending your Chrono Boost. He's getting the Twilight Council. This looks like such a funky-ass army. But you know what? Here comes Maelstrom. Now finally starting to get to make some Mutalisks. And this was appealing to me, to see how few mutas he was really up against. Yeah, there are a lot of corruptors here, but not this huge mutalist harassment fear that every Protoss player has when he leaves his base. He could begin making some Phoenixes, which is an interesting thought. You heard me just criticize people for not going mass carriers. Now, in a Funday Monday, yeah, I want to see some friggin' damn mass carriers. But in a usual game, you could make a carrier and then go back to Phoenix production if you saw him making a lot of mutalisks. So very, very cool stuff. Here come the Corruptors. Looks like they are target firing that weakened one. They do take it out. Oh no, how tragic. Too bad they don't have shield batteries like they did in Brood War. Those things were gnarly. They were underused, but gnarly nonetheless. Immortals coming out. There comes the carriers. There goes the Templar Archives. Oh, interesting. So interesting that I'm speeding it up. Continuing to make pylons, continuing to make characters. Good Immortal. Very, very good. And here comes, oh, sorry. Yep, taking out the gold expansion. Setting up to do a carry-off push. Carry-off. And, you know, at this point, Maelstrom is getting to look real scary, right? He's making a lot of spine crawlers. He has good amount of drones everywhere. He is getting every tech structure imaginable. He's getting the layer. I think he could have done without, like, Roach Warning and, you know, Hydralisk Denning and just continue to go the Mass Mutalist with Upgrade until he has, like, Ultras. That is the ordinary, typical, usual, standard-esque play. But either way, you know, this is interesting, getting out these High Templar, because suddenly it makes you go, oh, the only thing that really is going to kill carriers ultra fast is a lot of Corruptors. But Corruptors have energy that can be fed back. Fed back. Can be fed back by these Templar. That is very, very cool to see. And yeah, and then here comes the, you move out at your front, I hit you at your back. Very, very annoying, but you better run away. Carrier's gonna make you frown. Oh, and there's some very good feedbacks, doing some sick damage there. Loving that. I'm loving it. And there's the +1 upgrade. A little bit of a late +1, but when you're going carriers, the real question is, do you have +1 air? Oh, how tragic. He's not exploiting the +16 damage. Are you insane? No, I'm just playing StarCraft 2. Maelstrom has had an expansion with no guys mining gas. He is now taking yet another expansion. He has the counterattack set up. But, oh no. Has he even gotten Storm? No, he hasn't even gotten it. Just feedback to help those carriers stay alive. That's so awesome. And the Zealots streaming in. Spine Crawlers are a lot more effective than I think most people give them credit for. They are quite a sick unit. And look at this. This is looking like a pretty damn good PvZ game. Both players are playing quite competently. Both players not playing competently at all. Losing a carrier on accident because he just said, hey, rest of army, hang out here, have a picnic in the trees. Apparently not the best timing on that, but here comes these Templar, and look at those feedbacks, just annihilating those Corruptors. Like, yeah, this guy has 2 life left. Such insane damage, and here comes the Zerglings, but really, if you have a lot of money left over because you're going carriers, you're going to be able to take out the Zerglings pretty damn well. This is exactly what we're seeing. And look, there's the Archon being made. No Storm whatsoever has been researched, I don't think. Yeah, no Storm at all. Just feedback, and then an Archon. That's pretty awesome. And this a lot of times happens when you're screwing with someone's unit mix, where they end up winning one battle. So Maelstrom has won the air unit battle, but he has lost the ground unit battle. And when you lose the ground unit battle, that's a really, really sad time. This is when all the Zerglings kill your workers, or in this case, when all the Zealots kill your bases. And this Archon did a pretty bit of damage there. Here are some more Zealots and Stalkers getting streamed in. Immortal has a little bit more money than he should. He's up at $2,000. You know, I don't mind that so much because it's Funday Monday. We don't really care if your macro's awful. Tomorrow on Newbie Tuesday, I'm gonna be all up on that shit. But today, whatever. He's probably not even used to going mass carriers. But Zealot Archon Carrier, that is a scary ass force, man. That is gonna be doing some serious hurt. Some cannons being placed to defend the no longer mineral line, and Maelstrom's trying to get back. All the Overlords are so nervous, they're still puking here at the ramp. More Mutalisks coming out, trying to rebuild this expansion, trying to get more dronies. But speeding things right up again. Looks like Immortal is probably could have expanded again, has the money to even place those cannons. But I'm very intrigued at this unit mix. Hasn't really gotten any additional upgrades, but he's still making carriers. Thank you so much. Here comes a carrier getting... Oh no, is another carrier going to get taken down? Oh no, And by the way, this drives every player insane. Mutalisk just, oh, let me just kill your whole base. But Immortal, very good Protoss, making a second Stargate, getting out the double carrier. That's how we do it. Getting it done. Immortal, Air 5 to you. Or I guess since this is the internet, Y5, baby, Y5. Corruptor, again, have energy. Looks like Maelstrom is steered clear of those because the Templar did wreck those pretty nicely. But here comes just a very scary force. People aren't getting Archons enough in this game. I was making fun of them so much at the start, but I've increasingly grown to love them as a unit, as they are totally kick-ass. Carriers trying to get into a good spot, but it looks like the main might end up falling if Maelstrom decides that the main is what he wants to kill. This expansion could also be taken. Uh-oh, getting a real hard time trying to take this base, but instead he's making a smiley face. God bless you. Here's the smile. Here's the nose. And he has 3 eyes. Toe Jam and Earl style. So now Immortal's finally spent all that excess funds that he has built up to take this base. Looks like trying to do a little bit of harassment. The question, Immortal, is do you attack or do you go back and defend? Come on, Immortal. Make it awesome. Do the big counterattack. Let's trade some bases, man. Who needs money when you can just kill him and lose your whole fucking base? That's the theme of the Funday Monday, is who needs a base when you can be doing what Day 9 told you to. God, I love messing up the metagame. That's so awesome. Oh, looks like the carrier got mad and started to attack. What is he attacking? He killed his own Archon! You're crazy, Immortal. You've lost it. Oh, Zergling counterattacks, very effective at all stages in the game. They're very fast. And here they end up getting bottleneck, or should I say bottle seed. I don't even know if any Zealots die, but a lot of Zerglings do. Quite a few Zerglings do. Total 300 style. Mutalisk still being so annoying. God, this is just maddening to deal with. Poor Immortal, but he's building up more and more carriers over time. He's ceased building himself from the robotics facility. He's instead backing up with just big Zealot Archon carrier numbers. Uh-oh, the gold getting taken down. Gold getting degolded. He's moving into the back. He's moving into this expo, which also has no workers. How many workers does he have? 36. I guess he has a lot there. Oh, I guess he has a decent amount there. And here comes the big, scary attack. Ultraliska, slowing down for the final battle. We've been going at warp speed. It's almost 8 o'clock. Don't want the Monday Fundays going too long. Carriers splitting up, killing everything here, because almost none of it can shoot ground. And here are the Corruptors, starting to do a good bit of damage. Looks like they will be barely able to take out one carrier. No, with all the rest of the units there. Carriers deal such an absurd amount of damage. Now he has +2 damage. That is 7 damage times 2. That is 14 times 8. That is a number I don't even want to compute in my head. It's so high. Uh-oh, here comes the big attack at the front. What stayed alive? Not much at all. Oh my goodness. Oh, Mutalisk getting demutaliskified. Ultralisk doing quite a bit of damage. They are an unbelievably good unit. And again, Zealots fighting the good fight, taking out the Expos. Come on, Immortal, come on. You can do it. Ruby! He's making more Zealots, and here comes the scary counterattacks by Maelstrom, who has the nice ups. Uh-oh. Alright, now he's going to stop to do a little bit of fighting. Oh, look at that Ultralisk micro. That was awesome. I was into that. Way to go, Maelstrom. Yeah, I'll give you a Y5, too. What's this called? Frenzied. Oh, immune to snare, stun, and mind control effects. Totally kick-ass. So here comes the Immortal moving right back up into the main. Or should I call it the expansion? Carrier still doing a good bit of damage, but Immortal, attaboy, now we're doing a real daily. You just abandon your main and your expos. That's the way we do it. Mutalists die really fast to carriers. P.S. Look at the deathing that is going on with Mutalists. That's so good. The carriers both already mentors because of their contributions to the Protoss Society. Carriers being pulled back, Immortal splitting up his carriers. Very dangerous play. Never a big fan of those. Carriers operate much better in big clusters. Immortal, you're going to lose your expansion. Oh my god. Immortal, these cannons placed behind the minerals. Very good technique to defend from ground. Seems like this is good air defense. This is better against ground because things get clustered in there. So good against those Ultras and Lynx. Here come the Carriers and Zealots. Here come the Corruptors. Oh my god. Those Corruptors did not really do very much at all. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about when you start to get to that 6 carrier count. Oh, yeah, 48 Interceptors. Here come the Corruptors. Trying to do their plus 20% damage corruption ability, my least favorite ability in the game. It's going to make these basically look like they haven't worn deodorant in a while, but will really not have that much of an effect because the carriers cannot be hit at this point. Ain't no units shooting up at this point. Maelstrom, oh yes, Immortal. Yeah, that's what we call 1A time, baby. No need to defend. You just 1A. Oh, here come the Corruptors. Are you going to take out anything? Oh, you took out one thing. There you go. Oh, that's so awesome. That's like when you go trick-or-treating and someone gives you like one of those miniature fun snack size things. Like, have a great night, buddy. Enjoy the treat. Like you gave me one small thing of candy, asshole. That's right. He managed to take out one carrier. Maelstrom blown away. So how do you have money? He's, in other words, saying, I had no idea that carriers were really that cost-effective. Maelstrom blown away. Totally awesome. I mean, the real secret is that Immortal's macro slipped and he was at like $5,000 for a little bit. Just thought I would try carriers. Excuse me? Just thought I would try carriers? Excuse me, Monday Funday 12 replay contributor? I want credit. God. Give me credit. I want credit, guys. Oh, man. Immortal. Sending him through. Attacking with carriers. It's an attack. Immortal. Okay, by the way. Unless you're friends with the person, I'm not a fan of this. Look at this screenshot. Look at the mini-map. Yeah, played really sloppy. Everything's dying from Zerg. Yeah, didn't really play as well as I would have liked. I mean, even though it's true, even though his money did get a high, oh man, I feel bad for Maelstrom. He's getting zapped like crazy. Yes, Maelstrom should have maxed out on Corruptors, but then his ground army would have suffered. And that Zealot Stalker Archon mix would have been a touch too much to handle. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Monday Funday. I hope you had just as much fun as I. Those games were bejugular, to use a word that I made up. And tomorrow is Newbie Tuesday, which means that you are going to be submitting your games to Tuesday at day9.tv. And you should send me games of you losing to early pressure, whether it be a cheese strategy or an all-in, whether it just be someone attacked you early and you lost, or whether it be someone attacked you and screwed you up so that you just couldn't hold in the game for much longer than a few minutes. Send me those games to Tuesday at day9.tv. Say your league and rating, like I'm a 1500 silver player, and also please do not include that much of a description. Don't send me a lot of text because, again, I had 2,500 for Funday Monday. Sure, I have a few thousand for the other one, so just keep it short and concise and simple and cute. Bow. Now for you Terran players for next Funday Monday. Oh man. Now I'm going to do something a little insane. This is going to be the sickest of all the Funday Mondays that I've done so far. It's going to be the most insane. So for Zerg players, I just said no queens. For the Protoss players, I said carrier rush. For Terran players, next week, send me replays to Monday at Day9 TV of you playing without Marines, Marauders, and tanks. Ah! That's right. Take that, Terran. Bet you enjoy that quite a bit. No Marines, no Marauders, no tanks. That's right. You can make Reapers, Ghosts, Thors, Hellions, and any air unit you like. That's it. Oh god, those Terran vs. Terrans are going to look ugly. Oh man, those are going to be so good. Yes. Oh man, I actually am not... Yeah, you know what, Terran vs. Terran, I guess you're just going to have to go like Thor Hellion. Yeah, I'm all about that. You can make medevacs to heal your ghosts, or to do drops, but no Marines, no Marauders, no tanks. I'm betting I'm going to get fewer submissions for that one. They're not always going to be that harsh, but that is just such an insane restriction that I'm really excited. I'm really excited to see people, going like 5 Racks Reaper against Zerg into 5 Racks Ghost, because that's all I'm allowed to do. That's going to be awesome. You can build planetary fortresses. You can do all that good stuff, but no tanks, no Marines, no Marauders. That was fun. I'm not going to take any questions. I'm not going to take any today. No, I'll take one. I'll take exactly one question because I value your audience interaction. Oh, that's so good. All right, I'll just take this good question from Akabane101, who says, Day9, do you think the carrier rush is a very useful tactic that you would try during a tournament or something fun to do during a league match? Should it be practiced? I'm interested in the idea of incorporating carriers into my play now. I sort of undervalued the carriers because I just didn't quite realize their damage output. I've been playing a lot of 4v4s lately, and I'm just like, alright guys, I'm going carrier, leave me alone. Just make sure I stay alive, send me money, I'm going carrier. And it's weird how good they were. So it's kind of like, oh, cool. I guess I'll tell it. Go viewers! I want you to carry a rush. And now kind of seeing them in action, I'm starting to realize that in a lot of circumstances where I was going for big Void Ray numbers, maybe I should have just been going for big carrier numbers instead. Maybe that would have been even more effective. Now I kind of really, really want to try it. I'm very motivated to do so. On a map like Steps of War, where you don't really get that many expansions up, carriers seem brutal on that map. That would be a great map to go carrier on. Like, get your third base up and then transition to carriers. Oh, well, I guess I might want to open Void Ray in those circumstances and try to do a little damage to them early on as I expand. Like, hey, all right, there's a lot of neat ways to do this. So I would just say that these games, especially the first two, demonstrate that you can just go make carriers and go fucking kill them, and it works well. You don't even have to lose your whole fucking base, right? It works pretty damn well against a good amount of stuff, so time to hammer away at it. I'm going to try it. Yeah. And with that, Funday Monday's done! See you tomorrow at 7 p.m. Pacific, as well as Wednesday at 7 p.m. Pacific. Going to try to get a guest on Wednesday, as well as Thursday. Sunday through Thursday, 7 p.m. Every day is Day 9 Daily. See you later, guys. See you later, guys. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Day9TV. Follow me on YouTube, youtube.com/Day9TV. Go to my archives, day9tv.blip.tv. I'll see you later, alligator.